Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. Halloween Horror Night tickets are officially on sale now, and I wanted to walk you through all the details that we have so far. So I have my notes, so let's get into it. So first off, this year's theme is going to be Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. It's already setting the stage for what looks to be huge HHN season. I wanted to put together a full breakdown of everything that's currently available so we can figure out what makes the most sense for your trip. Whether this is your very first HHN season or you're a seasons goer trying to decide what to buy this year. So I plan to walk through the tickets, the packages, the add-ons, and all the extras that's worth knowing about before you plan your night out. And if you're planning a trip like we are, this should help a lot too, because we're going for 3 nights in September, and since one of the tickets are covered by season pass, we need to buy 2 more, so this is very much a real planning video for us too. All right, let's start with the basics. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando is going to run this year from August 28th through November 1st. So since this is a separate ticketed event, you will need an HHN admission even if you already have daytime tickets or an annual pass. Now Universal has already gave us the first house for this year, and it's going to be Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. So the current theme is leaning into the return of Jack and Dr. Oddfellow. That makes this year feel like it's going to be so big. If you're a longtime HHN fan, that's definitely the kind of announcement that gets everybody excited. All right, let's talk tickets. The simplest option is a single night ticket. This is the basic, straightforward way to go if you only plan to attend one night or you want to keep things very simple. When picking out your night, keep in mind that Universal's ticketing pricing is dynamic, which means it can change depending on the date, the demand, and the availability. So there isn't a one flat price that applies to every night. The reason why I think that's really important for first-time visitors to understand, and if you know the exact nights that you want to go, it's a good idea to check pricing early instead of waiting and hoping that it stays the same. Popular nights can cost more, and the later you wait, the fewer chances you may have of getting the dates you need. All right, if you're a season go-getter, this is where you start thinking strategically. If you're only doing 1 or 2 nights, then a regular ticket may be enough. But if you're planning the higher demand dates, you may want to think about upgrades. All right, let's talk about add-ons. The first big one is HHN Express. This is an option where people who want to spend less time waiting in line and do more in one night, or you hate long lines, Express can make a huge difference in how much you get done. I always think of Express as the best quality of life upgrade. It's not required, but if you want to move through the event more efficiently, this is one of the most useful add-ons. Then you have your RIP tours. Universal has both non-private and private versions of the RIP tour. The non-private RIP tour is a great option if you want premium guided experience without booking the whole private group. While the private version is more of an all-out splurge if you want the event tailored to your group. If you're a first timer, an RIP is definitely more a luxury option more than a necessity. But if you're a huge HHN fan and you want to get a more elevated night, it's one of the best ways to experience the event. You also have Unmasking the Horror, which is a daytime behind the scenes house tour. These are popular, and it's one of those things we've always wanted to do, but we never seem to make the time to go. But these tours it's great where you can go in and see the behind the scenes. You get to see the houses in the daytime and get to hear more about the stories and the design and why they were set up certain ways. It's very different from the nighttime event, so if you're the kind of person who wants to see the creative process, these are worth looking into. The ultimate splurge is the Premiere Scream Nights. So these are your top tier options. This year Universal added a second night. There'll be one in August and one in October. This is more limited premiere experience with shorter wait times and more exclusive feel. If HHN is a once a year special event for you and you want to go all out, this might be the version for you to look at. For most guests, it's absolutely not required to have a great night. For the premium screen night, it is a higher ticket price, but they do include food and non-alcoholic beverages. And it's more limited capacity, so instead of you going in the line houses one after another, my understanding is they do spacing, so you kind of get the feel of you're in the house by yourself. Now let's talk packages. If you're coming from out of state, the Halloween Horror Nights hotel and ticket package is worth looking into. It can make plans easier because you're bundling the hotel and event admission together instead of trying to piece everything apart. For travelers who are turning HHN into a full trip, that might be a very helpful option. And if you're planning multiple nights like we are, packages can sometimes make the trip feel more organized, especially if you already know you want to be there more than one night for the event. One thing I definitely want to mention is that hotel guests get priority entrance. Universal has offered a dedicated HHN entrance for hotel guests during a specific time window, and that can be a really helpful perk if you're staying on property. For first-time visitors, this can make your arrival feel a little more smoother and less confusing. But keep in mind, you do not get to see the opening ceremony if you go through the hotel entrance. All right, if you're staying at Universal Hotel, I'd absolutely recommend paying attention to that perk and checking the time so you can know when to use it. Last year, we went off to the side of the entrance, and there was people holding signs of where to get in line. All right, let's talk about something that a lot of regular HHN fans are probably waiting for, the frequent fear passes. Universal usually releases this multi-night or frequent fear style option later. It's not always in the first ticket drop. So if you're a repeat visitor and that's the option that you're waiting for, I would keep an eye out for another wave of announcements. Also, I would not assume those passes are gone just because they're not part of this first release. HHN often rolls out ticket types in stages, so the first drop is usually just the beginning. All right, so if you're a first timer, what should you buy? My honest advice is to keep it simple. If this is your first HHN, get a regular ticket, choose the night you want, and focus on experiencing the event without overcomplicating it. If you're only going to be able to go one night and you don't like the lines and you want to try to get into all the houses, I would recommend getting the HHN Express. But if you want that more elevated premium feel, you could always go for an RIP tour. If you're traveling in and you want to make life a little easier, you can also look into the hotel ticket package. It's probably like your most convenient route. That way you don't have to book them all separately and it's all in one price. So if you're returning for HHN, you already know that this is something that you want to do casually or fully. So the question becomes, do you want to do one big night, multiple nights, or a premium experience? Do you care more about the saving money or do you care more about skipping the lines? That's really the key. HHN has lots of options, but the best one really depends on the experience that you want. So for us personally, we're going down in September. We already have one ticket planned for our passes. Universal will let us know when we can go in and book our reservation for those passes, and then we need to buy 2 more days. We have been debating on just doing 1 more day and get an express versus 2 days. So I've been looking at pricing for those two and which one makes more sense. We also have been looking at the hotel package just because we are coming from out of state. So it's just more convenient for us to have it all booked together. And then we can just pay towards that one payment instead of having to buy, say, the hotel here and then buy the tickets here. So there is the benefit of having it all booked into a package. This will be our 3rd year going to Halloween Horror Nights, and like the first year we did 2 days and we enjoyed it and felt like we made the most of it. Last year we were only able to do 1 day and we definitely didn't get to see half the experience because you also have the Wizarding World to go in and see the Death Eaters, and then you have the show and all the food. So there's so much you can do. I mean, yes, you can go and enjoy. We had a blast in that one night. We saw as much as we could. We loved the scare zones. We did as many houses as we can. But it is a very packed event, and the lines get really crazy. All right, so that's the current HHN breakdown and everything that we know so far. Tickets are live. The first house has been announced. We know this year's theme, and I'm so excited to see Jack the Clown and Dr. Oddfellow. As more details drop, I'll keep sharing everything that's worth knowing so that you can plan your HHN trip without feeling overwhelmed. And if you want help planning your Halloween Horror Nights trip, we would love to help you. We can talk through the options, plan out the whole trip with you. And if you're planning a September trip like us, I'd say now is the time to start narrowing down the nights you're wanting to go so you can budget. Let us know in the comments if you're going this year. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as soon as more information drops, we'll make sure to share it. Have a great night. Bye.